Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Gephardt Institute for Civic and Community Engagement's signature program information session. Today, we are going to be focusing on our Arts as Civic Engagement program, and we are excited that you're here joining us today, and we welcome you to today's presentation. And just want to remind you that today's presentation is a recorded session. And so while you are here, we encourage you to keep your cameras on and your microphones on mute. And if you do have any questions, feel free to submit the questions to us via the chat, or you can always send them to us via email, and we'll share that email address with you a little bit later in the presentation. During today's 60-minute presentation, we will be providing you with an in-depth overview of the Gephardt Institute's Arts and Civic Engagement program. And you'll also receive some additional information as to what your next steps are, what the key dates of the program will be, and a preview of our upcoming sessions. But first, before we dive in, we want to make sure we share a little bit more information with you about what the Gephardt Institute is and what we do. So the Gephardt Institute is a beautiful institute on campus. We are located in the Sticks House, which is almost directly right across the street from the Duck. And we foster a culture of civic and community engagement at WashU by educating students, catalyzing partnerships, and infusing civic engagement throughout the WashU experience. We offer events, cohort programs, resources, and opportunities for students, faculty, and staff, and our community partners to connect with one another and initiatives throughout the St. Louis region. The work of the Gephardt Institute essentially focuses on achieving three primary goals. Our first goal is to educate students for lifelong engaged citizenship. Our second goal is catalyzing partnerships that respond to community needs and priorities. And our third goal is infusing civic engagement throughout the WashU experience. Now that we've learned a little bit about what the Gephardt Institute is and what we do, I would like to introduce you to two of my most esteemed colleagues here at the Gephardt Institute. First and foremost is Ms. Stephanie Whedon-Smith. Stephanie Whedon-Smith is the Assistant Director for Community Engagement at the Gephardt Institute, and welcome, Stephanie. And Roseanne Weiss is our lead facilitator for the Arts as Civic Engagement program. And you're going to be hearing a lot of great information from Roseanne today. I am going to turn this conversation over to both of my esteemed colleagues. And again, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Genesis. And as Genesis said, welcome to our information session for the Gephardt Institute for Civic and Community Engagement signature program, Arts as Civic Engagement. As Genesis said, I'm Roseanne Weiss, and I'm here with my colleague, Stephanie Whedon-Smith, and we're here to answer your questions about Arts as Civic Engagement. Stephanie, you want to talk a little bit about Gephardt? I know Genesis talked a little bit before.
Yeah, so I'll talk, again, I'm Stephanie Whedon-Smith, Assistant Director for Community Engagement at Gephardt Institute for Civic and Community Engagement. And in terms of what Genesis brought about in terms of, really wanting to have that vibrant community and civic culture, Arts as Civic Engagement is one of these areas that we wanted to support creating that vibrant culture on the WashU campus. And in terms of, our goals, we part of how Arts as Civic Engagement was created was really thinking about catalyzing partnerships that respond to community needs and priorities. Embedded in this program, students will be able to be embedded in community arts organizations, able to really help them in thinking about what is the intersection of arts and civic engagement. Many of them come to us with how and what the priorities are in our community in relationship to what it is to community needs. And so we're excited to be able to go into our third year. I'll pass it off to Roseanne to tell us more about the specifics on the program.
Thanks, Stephanie. So I always love this quote. The purpose of art is to lay bare the questions that have been hidden by the answers. And this quote from the writer, James Baldwin, helps us frame how we might think about the important roles of arts in civic and community engagement. Art can be a powerful tool for expression, for uncovering truths, for uniting us. Arts and Civic Engagement is a program that works, as Stephanie said, at the intersections of art and community. We're in our third year of this initiative, and it is really of community expression. It is also a platform. It's a platform for students to become immersed in arts-based community engagement. It's a platform for arts and community organizations in St. Louis to connect with the Gephardt Institute and with Washington University, as well as the very important platform, which is one of our primary goals, which is to deepen community relationships. This is a 5-month residency. It's an opportunity for rising juniors and rising seniors interested in working with St. Louis stipend, being matched with a local arts organization that has civic engagement as one of its core components in its mission, working with organizations that are selected through a proposal process by the Gephardt Institute. So we work with the organizations and choose them through the kinds of things that they want to do with us. Participating in cohort-based experiential learning and individual project development. It's very important that we all become a cohort and that we learn together. And it's very much hands-on and experiential. Here's some examples of the last time we were able to offer our residencies. And you may even recognize some of the students in these embedded with the Griot Museum of Black History and Culture. It's an important anchor institution on the north side of the city. And the Griot is a small organization with just 2 full-time employees. So Rob was able to have a very hands-on experience working with the founder and director of the museum, as well as the education director for that museum. Oops. Oops. All right. This is Claire Wiley. And Claire worked with the Contemporary Art Museum, which is located in Grand Center, 1 mile radius initiative, which engages this nationally recognized museum with the residents of its surrounding local neighborhoods. So she was also able to do some really impactful work in her time there with the museum. This is Efwe Osei. Efwe was in residence with the Shakespeare Festival and was an integral part of their Shakespeare in the Streets events. She helped organize, which powerfully through theater connected urban St. Louis community with a rural Illinois community. And this year, we're really proud and excited to say that we can accept 4 students into the program with 4 organizations.
So keeping in mind, Arts and Civic Engagement is one of 3 of our signature programs that is really based, and the foundation is really thinking about St. Louis. So if you haven't had an opportunity to really explore and get to understand what this community of St. Louis is and means, and what are the priorities. This will be a great opportunity for you not only to be partnering with a community arts organization, also to learn some of the richness of St. Louis. And our hope is to look at ways that you can continue to create impact in St. Louis. Next slide. As we're thinking about who should apply, the folks that should apply are all rising juniors and seniors. Like many of our other programs, we provide a $5,000 stipend to support students to be able to be a part of these programs and to support our community organizations to have you embedded in their staff. The duration of the residency will be from mid-May, where you'll get some orientation and seminars prior to doing some beginning works with the organization, and then full-time with the organization in summer, and wrapping up with a culminating event in September. It's a 5-month residency, again, with an arts organization in community engagement as part of its mission that you'll be looking at in terms of the project specific project that you'll be working on. And then Institute staff like myself and Roseanne will be matching you up with an organization pre-selected, so you don't have to worry about finding an organization, and we'll find the one that with what we hope will be the most interesting and really specific project that can really help you to continue to look at what might be next for you.
So deadlines and more opportunities for information. The applications are now live and they are at our website. You can come and see us and ask questions for these drop-in dates and times. Please keep in mind that the application deadline is March 5th, which is a Friday, and the applications close at 5 p.m. You should also remember that you need 2 letters of recommendation to go along with your application. So getting started now is a good idea. We will have, in fact, we're going to add another info session for you. So if you've got questions, come back and see us on February 16th at noon, same time, same place. And we'll be able to speak with you then as well. We will have an info session the day before the deadline, but I really urge you not to wait till then. When the applications close, we have a committee. We'll set up some interviews for selected students, and we will be making our decisions on or around March 26th. So you'll know pretty quickly what you'll be able to be doing this summer. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us directly. Questions or any concerns you may have, or any suggestions on what kinds of letters of recommendation to ask for. We're very happy to be with you. So please don't hesitate to give us some questions. And also remember that we are happy to see you at one of our info sessions or drop-in sessions. And thank you so much for listening to this. And we really hope to see an application from you.
Thank you.